Alright guys, Ciaccona is finally here, and in today's video, we are going to be summoning for this character. As you guys can see, I have around, let me come over here real quick. We have around like 5,000 Astrites and 23. Let's go ahead and pop this multi. I'm just playing. I'm not summoning for this character. But I already made a video explaining why I'm not summoning for Ciaccona. If you guys haven't checked out that video, I recommend you to do so. But yeah, I'm not summoning for her because when we take a look at my account, I don't really have Gion, right? I don't have Gion. Like I'm not gonna summon for Ciaccona just to apply Spectral Frazzle for Zani. I don't think it's worth it. So my plan is to essentially like just save up for Cartethia instead. That's my plan. Just save up for Cartethia because Cartethia seems a lot more flexible compared to Zani. So I'm gonna get Cartethia by herself without Ciaccona, which is, that's the game plan. I'm also gonna get Lupa as well. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, unfortunately, no summon video for Ciaccona, guys, but we are going to be testing her out just a little bit here. Ooh, we have, what is this? What is this? Your summer will never wither. I think this is an event over here. What else do we have? Here we go. We have this. We're going to go in and check that out. Oh, this is finally available. Bro, this is, oh my gosh, this shit is so fucking stupid. I will never, like, not I will never not bring this up because I don't understand why they did that. Like they locked this for Zani banner. It was just dumb fuck. Let's go ahead and claim this. There we go. We got 10 free pulls. We also have this over here, which is pretty nice. What else? I'm gonna be real with you guys, man. I didn't participate in this race event. I just think it's boring. That's just me personally. I think this event is boring, to be honest. We also have the new in-game content over here, which looks pretty nice. We're gonna check that out in another video. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out Ciaccona, man. Wait, I need to check my mail real quick. Need to check my mail. What did they give us? Oh, we got 100 Astrites. Okay, we'll take it. I apologize for that, but we'll take it. That's not bad. Okay, let's go and see this character real quick, man. Let's see her real quick. Oh, there you go. You guys can see it right here. Okay, do this again. So how many can she put down? Okay, that's 2. And then that's 3. And then when we do this. Ah, okay. Okay. I think that's pretty cool. Wait, so what can these clones do, though? What can these clones do? So she's using that set. And by the way, for the dumb fuck that was in my comment section saying that Gust of Vulcan is not going to be good on Ciaccona, yeah, you look stupid right now. But yeah, of course, they're putting this weapon on her. What can those clones do again? Let me see. Ciaccona starts a solo concert. When Ciaccona or Ensemble still perform solo concert, they give 24% arrow damage bonus to all nearby. Damn, 24% arrow damage bonus is actually insane. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and use this. Let me see this. Nothing too crazy. And this is just her gun over here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm guessing like we do this. So she can do it in midair as well. Very interesting. Okay. Very interesting. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. So you guys can see this is the team that they put with her, okay? This is the team that they put. So I'm guessing you go ahead, you pop this. There we go. And I just pop ultimate here. And I can just switch out. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I see how the character works. It's pretty simple, man. Like, but you guys can clearly see when it comes to Ciaccona, it's like, bro, if you're not putting her in an arrow team, like, you're not really gonna gain much from her. You guys can see the arrow erosion damage bonus in the bottom right there. And then once that goes away, let's see what happens when that goes away. There it is. Very, very interesting. Okay. Cool character. I think she's cool. You know, nothing too deep. But yeah, once again, man, it all goes back to square one where if you don't have Gion, then like you're not really going to really there's not a single character that can really benefit from her kit that much. Jensen, the other 5-star standard arrow character, she's pretty dog shit, so you know, nobody's gonna use her with her, to be honest. Arrow Rover as like a main DPS unit is just not good, so yeah, like I did hear that her with Phoebe is pretty nice because of Spectral Frazzle application. It's pretty good, but I don't even have Phoebe, so that's why I'm not summoning for this character. But you know, her gameplay is actually not that bad. I think she's definitely gonna have a lot of value long term. Like she has long term value, right? But it's like, okay, if you want to summon for this character, if you're a free to play player, would you, I don't know, sacrifice all your Astrites, all your Radiant Tides on a unit that you can't really, I wouldn't say you can't use right now, but a character that doesn't really have a proper DPS unit, like a DPS unit that can fully function with her kit? Because when you take a look at her outro skill, 100% air erosion damage amp is actually insane. And then I'm pretty sure, you know, you also have the fact that she's able to inflict air erosion on the enemy. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Gion doesn't really benefit from that air erosion. He doesn't really benefit from that at all. You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna have to wait for Cardathea. But as up to right now, Ciaccona, she's alright. She's pretty cool. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much how I feel about Ciaccona. I think Ciaccona, she is a character, like as of to right now, you're not going to see her true, like her real, like her true value until we have a unit that deals arrow erosion damage, right? And that's going to be Cardathea, right? Cartethia. That's going to be the character who's going to make Ciaccona shine. She is going to make Ciaccona like one of the best enablers in the game, right? But as up to right now, when we take a look at all the units in the game, we have Gion and Phoebe. Phoebe benefits from Spectral Frazzle stacks, and Ciaccona is able to, you know, inflict that consistently, which is really good for Phoebe. You have Gion, who's an arrow DPS unit, and she's able to like increase arrow damage. And if you put Gust of Vulcan on her, she's able to amplify arrow damage a lot more, which is also pretty good. So I will say those two characters, they're like, out of every DPS unit we have in the game so far, the only two DPS characters that can benefit off of Ciaccona right now is Phoebe, our Phoebe and GN. Those are the only two characters. Everybody else, nah. We come over here to the Pride 1 tier list. Like Zani, I mean, the thing is, when it comes to Zani, I've seen people say, oh, you can put her with Zani. Let's be honest, guys. Like, are you really going to spend all your Astrites and all your Radiant Tides on Ciaccona for Zani? Or are you doing that for Cardathea? Because let's be honest, man, when Cardathea releases, ain't nobody gonna be putting Ciaccona with Zani, bro. Let's be real, man. Like, the reason why a lot of people are investing in Ciaccona is for Cardathea. Let's be real. It's for Cardathea. It's for Cardathea, and I will say it is for Gion. But I've seen like, okay, I will say the team for Gion right now would be, of course, not Cardathea, Ciaccona, Gion, and Arrow Rover. I feel like that team is really good. You guys can see this team is pretty nice. But the thing is, Gion doesn't really benefit from air erosion because he doesn't deal air erosion damage. So I will say, you know, Cardathea is still going to be the best DPS character for Ciaccona. But at the same time, this team is actually not that bad. Now, the thing is, if you take out Arrow Rover and you try to put in a character like, I don't fucking know, you try to put in Mortefi to increase heavy attack, their team is going to be very, very squishy. All right, I've seen, you know, some gameplay footage of people putting Ciaccona, Gion, and Mortefi. It wasn't looking good because you have to rely on Ciaccona's ultimate so that you can, you know, I wouldn't say you don't have to rely on her ultimate, but like when you use her ultimate, she has that like damage resistance, and at the same time you have Gion who's using his, wait, I think she does have a resistance, I forgot, but for Gion, it's like if you're using his ultimate, you can't really dodge that much with Gion. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're dodging, you're wasting time and you're pretty much wasting huge damage. So when it comes to Gion, Ciaccona, and Mortefi, team is a little bit squishy, right? Because you don't have Rover, who's pretty much like keeping the team alive. So this team is actually pretty nice. But when it comes to Zani, however, I feel like when it comes to Zani, I don't know, man. I think it's just cope for people to say that Zani and Ciaccona is like amazing. It's like, no, it's not, man. With Mortefi and Ciaccona, use Spectre over on a Rejuvenating Glow Echo set. With Shorekeeper, use Spectre over on Moonlit Clouds. It's like, let's be honest, guys. Who the fuck is gonna put Zani with Ciaccona when you have Mortefi and Shorekeeper? There's just no reason for you to do that. You know, like if you have Phoebe, it's gonna be Zani, Phoebe, and then Shorekeeper. You know, you already have Phoebe in her confession state who's going to apply the Spectral Frazzle stacks. So why have another character who's going to like apply Spectral Frazzle stacks even more? I feel like Ciaccona, she's just there to make Zani feel a lot more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like if when you're playing with Zani, Ciaccona, like all you're getting from this character is her ultimate and Moonlit Clouds. Actually, no. You're putting Moonlit Clouds on Spectre Rover. Actually, no. With Spectre Rover, I mean, you can put Rejuvenating Glow and then put Moonlit Clouds on Ciaccona, so that, you know, you're pretty much like getting a decent amount of heals from Rover, Spectre Rover, and then Ciaccona, she's giving that additional attack to Zani. But it's like, once again, if you do get Ciaccona's weapon, then Ciaccona's weapon is absolutely useless in his team because she is reducing the enemy's arrow resistance, and she's amplifying arrow damage. So it's like you would have to use Static Miss instead. So I don't know, man. It's like, just, it's better, like you're better off just using Zani, Shorekeeper, and Spectre Rover, or Zani, Mortefi, and Spectre Rover. That's just way better. I don't think it's, you know, you should waste all your summons, waste all your pulls to get Ciaccona when you already have two of these characters who are just really, really good, who are actually better. I will argue that they're better than Ciaccona when it comes to Zani, right? So yeah, I don't really see Ciaccona and Zani like being the best out of the best, to be honest. It's not really working. But however, for Phoebe, I can see it because she can apply a lot of Spectral Frazzle stacks, which makes Phoebe feel a lot more, makes her feel a lot better. And Gion as well. But Gensi lower being pushed down into T0.5 is crazy work. And that's why I will say, I don't understand why Pride would decide to put Ciaccona in T0 when she doesn't really have a unit that can fully utilize her kit right now. When it comes to the air erosion damage bonus amplification, like when it comes to the air erosion damage amp, there's not a single character in the game right now that can fully benefit from that. So the fact that she is a unit that's there to enable DPS characters, and she can't really do that right now, especially with her outro skill, I feel like she belongs in T0.5, right? And I think that's fair, because when you take a look at characters like, let's say, what's a good example here? When you take a look at characters like, let's say Contorella, right? Contorella. Maybe in the future, they're going to put Havoc Bane in Contorella's kit, and she's going to be good for characters like Frolova. Or she's going to be good for characters like, I don't know, Camellia. Who fucking knows? And then guess what? They're going to move her up the tier list. It should be the same thing for Ciaccona, where when we get more characters in the future, more arrow DPS in the future, especially arrow erosion DPS units, then she gets moved up to T0. As up to right now, there's not a single arrow erosion DPS unit, so I feel like she belongs in T0.5 at best, because she works pretty well with Phoebe, and she works pretty well with Gion, but that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to her team comps, we come over here to teams. You guys can see her teams aren't, like, when you take a look at these teams over here, she is not the best choice in that team. When you for Zani's team, when you take a look at Zani's best team over here, you guys can see it's Zani, Phoebe, Shorekeeper, Spectre over, and Verena. That's the best team for her. When you take a look at what else? Phoebe, right? You take a look at Phoebe's best team. Okay, Ciaccona is actually a part of Phoebe. Like, she's actually pretty good with Phoebe, right? That's only one character. When we take a look at not Mortefi, but Gion, game playing teams, his best team is still Mortefi because Mortefi gets that heavy attack. So yeah, like Phoebe is like the only character that is really benefiting from Ciaccona in terms of functionality, right? Because of the spectral frazzle stacks. But that's only one character, and that's a limited 5-star character, and I don't even have Phoebe. So I feel like they should just lower her down to T0.5 because once again, we don't really have an air erosion DPS unit that can fully utilize Ciaccona's kit properly. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That's my honest take when it comes to Ciaccona. Really good unit, and I can see her value long term. I honestly think that Ciaccona has way more value than Zani due to the fact that Ciaccona is an enabler. She enables future upcoming aero erosion DPS units. But Zani, however, she relies on negative stats effect enablers in order for it to actually perform properly. She relies on spectral frazzle. Meanwhile, Ciaccona, she is there to enable DPS characters, which is high value. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's what I think. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Adios.